Your problem is not that you lack self love, you actually lack self respect. And you most likely are lacking that and have those misconstrued with yourself because you don't actually understand what they mean. And I hear you. I feel you. I used to think that love was not what love is. And honestly, who am I to define what love is truly? Because that's such an infamous 4 letter word. But basically, growing up, you know, you're kind of always taught like you're supposed to respect your parents. And really, what that means is just kind of do what they say to do. And even like whether it's right or wrong, whether like they're actually even, following what they say, or whether they told you to do something that makes sense. Same thing like in a job where your boss sets a set of rules and then they break them. But if you break them, oh, no, 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 can't do that. You'd get fired. Like you would get fired for stuff that they do every day. And it causes you to, not really have respect. And then I'm not sure if these are completely applicable, but the way that I think about it is there is a certain way you treat people when you respect them. And it's not the same as just how you treat the people you love. And it's really easy to kind of say, like, oh, I love them. Like, my heart radiates something when I'm around them. Like, I feel excitement or whatever. But to truly love yourself and do it with respect it's kind of like a whole different ballgame, because it's doing what you don't want to do because you want to do what's best for you. So ultimately, you want to do what it is that you are doing because that's what's best for you. But there's that internal confliction inside because you kind of have to rewire your brain. And when you're rewiring something, the wires are currently all scrambled all over the place. It's currently a mess. And you have to do a lot of correction. And basically, I just, I don't know, that one just really sat with me because there are a lot of things that, sometimes maybe haven't sat right with me, or they've rubbed me the wrong way. And maybe depending on situations, but like I have the power to change my surroundings, my settings, the people who I surround myself with, the people I exchange energy with. And if something is, not working for me, I don't really have to have an explanation, and it doesn't really have to be that big of a deal. Like if it's just not working for me and, it's kind of creating friction in my life, I have every right to take that away. And sometimes that can be uncomfortable. Like you have to do stuff like that from like a place of respect, because if somebody like maybe gets upset and they're like, what do you mean you don't want to be around me because, blah 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 blah, and it's like, it's not really you. Like you do you, you be you. I'm not really trying to stop you from being you, but this is kind of how I need to be, and I'm not really looking to compromise who I'm trying to be so that way I can continue to be around you. So respectfully to you and to me, I'm just going to go away. That's kind of what's going to happen there. Or like, when you set a goal, or like say you want to do something and it's kind of in your brain, something they say at Solid Core, like they call some reps like non-negotiables. So like no matter what, like you're going to do that rep. And the thing is people set non-negotiables all the time, And then they negotiate them, like really negotiate them with themselves, and then end up not doing it. And that's going to kill your sense of trust and respect for yourself. Like if you're out here constantly, saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, or I want to be this person, or, I'm, I've been eating really bad to the point where it makes me feel bad. Like I don't feel good and I want to eat healthy so I can feel better. But you're the one putting the fork to your face. You are lacking literal self-respect. And it's just, I think about it, and in work settings, like there have been people that I've worked with where when they go in the office and shut the door, you don't even knock on the door. If they shut the door, it means that they want to be left alone and you're going to leave them alone. And because and you've like seen them work and you see them do what they do, you don't even go tap on the door. You don't even disturb them. You let them have their time. And I don't know, it's kind of like doing that to yourself. Like if you know that you actually need to do stuff and you need to get things done, or you need to work on yourself, or you have these non-negotiables that are, things you need to address in your life, like you need to close the door and you need to put a do not disturb sign on that door. And that is just in life. And like let people know, like, nah, no time for nonsense right now. Like I have to cut out all the noise and I just kind of need to do my thing. And you're going to build so much respect for yourself. And I feel like we all need to kind of do that just in our lives, period. Like cut out the BS, cut out the noise, and stop dealing with other people's BS too, because you're basically enabling. You're enabling people to be on some bullshit when you're over here enabling their bullshit. So like just cut all of it out, cut your bullshit, and then cut them off. Watch them hopefully cut their bullshit, and then we can all just kind of grow. I don't know. This might have gotten in all types of different directions. That wouldn't surprise me. But it's really just like doing things for you because that's what you want and that's what's best for you, and not thinking about all of the variables and all of the this and all of that. Like if that's what's necessary and that's what's needed, like do it. And it's because you want to see yourself run nicely and like live the best life you can. And I think this one might be kind of I don't know, this one might be able to hit for some people, but growing up when I was a kid, sometimes when you go through things, naturally they just like send you to therapy. And I went there. I went to the therapy, and I just remember we had this little piece of paper, and she was like, put some paint all over it. Basically like just decorate the paper with mess. Like don't have any rhyme or reason, just destroy it. And then she was like, fold it in half, then open it back up. Keep in mind I'm in kindergarten. And I just kind of looked at her and I was like, are you trying to like show me a real life metaphor? Like my life is a mess and I can make something beautiful out of it? Because she was telling me to decorate this piece of paper, and like even though it was destroyed, I can make it pretty. And I was like, I don't know, like even at a young age, I could kind of realize like this wasn't my fault, like this isn't my problem. And it's just my life was kind of in a mess because I was a kid. And then as I was getting older, people don't know how to help you with things that you've been through. And instead of sitting there and handling your own mess, you sit there and you're like, well, I need help from these people and I need this and I need that, and I'm so down bad because of this, and I didn't have the same this and I didn't have the same that. And at a certain point, I just kind of was like, dude, like, I need to hang it up. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do to address all of these issues, but like, I've got to do something about it. Like, this is my job to heal myself. Like, I cannot sit around here waiting for somebody to come save me, because like, I'm even looking at myself and I'm like, dude, like, you can do things, you have potential, you're great. Like, you just need to actually do something with your life. And I started finding outlets that were actually helping to heal me, like literally heal me. And I'm not talking about like just, and I'm not one to try and downplay anything that works for anybody. Like, if talking therapy works for you, by all means, please go to therapy. But like, for me, the way at least I feel like my mind works, there's a lot of talking that has to be done to really get into that conversation, especially with when you're talking about somebody's trauma. And for me, it was just kind of like, I don't have time for this. Like, I don't have time to sit around all day and just talk about all this stuff. So hopefully you can come to a conclusion on what you think I should do about it. I was like, right now, I'm looking at my life and I don't give a rat's ass what's happened to me or what I've been through. I know that this is kind of where my life's at, and this is kind of where I needed to go. Like, I need to address some things because, like I said, nobody's going to come save me. And when I started finding certain things that worked for me, it didn't make sense to anybody. And it almost was like looked down upon at times, like the ways that I chose to cope. And there were some negative ones that I had, some negative coping mechanisms when I was younger, but I'm referring to my older life, like positive coping mechanisms that didn't make sense to people. And one of them for me is massages. I am not one to go and have this like chill vibes massage where, like we just kind of relax and have this, majestic time where you might fall asleep. My massages are painful, and I am very, very much so alert and aware the whole time. And I truly believe that it's working the trauma and the tension out of my body. Like, I believe in my brain that my trauma is stored in my body, and it's not really a talk it out thing, it's a work it out thing. And I need to let it go. I need to physically get it out of my body and just let it go. And something that I would say I spend consistently a good amount of money on for myself, and I see it as an investment in myself, in my healing, is my massages. And I do this, in my opinion, truly out of love and respect for myself, because I've recognized, like, there's been times where I've had to even like make sacrifices because I was doing this before I could really afford to do this. And it was just because I recognized this is what's working for me, and I don't need to explain it to anybody. I don't need to justify it to anybody. I just know that like this is what's helping me. And I would just kind of in the middle of the day, like when people are like, you're going and getting a massage in the middle of the day, you little privilege. Yeah, I am. And I don't really need to explain why to you. Like, I don't need to tell you what I thought about for an hour to 90 minutes straight. I really don't. But I'm going to tell you right now, between massages and solid core, it's keeping that world spinning. And I do these things out of respect for myself, truly. Like, I don't know, maybe I don't have it all in line. I'm sure there's a hot chance of that, but it's just sometimes I feel like because of how we've been taught about respect and love and like what these things look like, sometimes it's difficult to understand what that looks like for yourself. And, you know, doing things that are isolative maybe, or uncomfy, or even recognize how badass and powerful you are. Like literally have enough love and respect for yourself to realize like you are so capable of so much. And I realize like sometimes when I'm working out, I will feel like I'm gonna die. So dramatic. It's so dramatic. It is. We as people are so dramatic. But you want to know the truth? I won't. I'm not gonna die. And when my leg is literally quivering, I'm talking like from my toes, my ankles, up into my thighs, everything's just shaking. Yes, I feel like I'm dying, but I'm not. And then afterwards, I feel so good because I pushed myself. And maybe some people are not as unhinged. Maybe some people are not as crazy. I get that. I really do. I am. So essentially, for me, is when I do something like that afterwards, it's a reflection that, holy crap, you are capable of so much. Like when you're out there in that big bad world and things are happening and it's so scary and it's so intense, and you just sit there and claim incompetence, or you act like you can't do it. You can. When you think you're about to die, no, it's just getting good. When you think that you just have bit off way more than you can chew, just slow down. It might have to stay in your mouth for a while, like you'll be all right. But it's just, do things for yourself and do it because you just want to see yourself win. And like you want to see yourself win because you love that person so much and you respect them so much, and like everything that they've been through, and everything that has happened was for a reason. And do not have so little respect for yourself that you kind of let things go to waste, or you let yourself just wither away, or sit there and not do things that you talk about doing all the time. Like, do you know how disrespectful it is constantly to sit there and complain about little things in your life that you have control over and you can change? It's honestly, like, when you stop and think about it and then you look around the world, it's truly just like so disrespectful to everybody. And it's so rude and ungrateful because holy crap, you probably have 2 legs, 2 arms, like if you got your big toes, oh my gosh, that's the main thing that gives you stability when you're walking. You've got a brain, you got eyes, you've got senses. Use your senses, use your common sense. Just like exist and do things for yourself. Do things for yourself. And honestly, even do things you don't like. Do stuff you hate. Do stuff that pisses you off. Do stuff that you are like, that was dumb. Why? Because it's going to make your life better. And you have so much love and respect for yourself that you just know, I have to do shitty ass things if I'm going to have really good outcomes sometimes. And that's just kind of how it works. So that's my chit chat. I'm going to finish my walk. My legs are pretty cold, and that is all. Like and subscribe, and have a fabulous day. Okay, bye.